Okay, so I'm going to try something here a couple days a week. Not sure if I'm going to make this a week daily thing or be on the weekdays, kind of between 12 noon Eastern and 3 p.m. Eastern, somewhere in that range. I'm going to have Dave Hughes with the news. Dave Hughes with the news. Okay. We're going to do a little chit chat about some topical items. Could be stuff in the big news like politics, but mainly I want to focus on techie stuff, YouTubey stuff, social media stuff, that kind of news. Okay, if you want to take it over into other things, that's cool. We're going to have a quick little discussion here. I don't know, I'm not going to keep it up too long, but so anyway, I've got got some of my newspapers every morning. I like to fish through. I don't buy these papers. Okay, I do not buy newspapers. I do not have a newspaper subscription. What I do is I go to Starbucks, and a lot of people take their used papers and they shove them down in that recycle bin thing. They have that little round receptacle, which is one side is trash, one side is recycles. They shove their newspapers or used newspapers down the recycle bin. Sometimes I just leave them on the tables, and then I hunt through the bin like some sort of homeless person. I come in and I reach down, and sometimes there's coffee and donut gunk and whatever on things. I pull them out, and then I read my papers. So I usually find the New York Times, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal. So anyway, how are you doing, Diamond slash Ranch, Bubba Moorbucks, Real Andy? This is on my Dave Hughes channel. So I'm going to just try this. You see how it goes, okay? The news and fishing views with Dave. Of the news and fishing for views. Yeah, I just want to try this, okay? That's all I want to do is just see how it goes. We're going to try this a couple days and see if it gets any traction. Anyway, it is brought to you by Tan Dill. Brought to you by Tan Dill, the Tide knockoff there you find at Aldi. This was just washed in Tan Dill. Look how clean it is. Okay, this sock was just washed in Tan Dill. Look how well, yeah, relatively clean it is. So anyway, all right. So the news. You know what? A couple housekeeping items first to start out with. First off, I went to upload a video this morning. Okay, my the one I did, Caravan Carolyn's on the clickbait. And YouTube said now they have this new thing. They said you have been selected for a pilot program whereby your videos will not be automatically monetized when you upload. Now, I am a monetized channel, okay? But now I have to actually select when I upload every video a monetization option. Okay, so I upload the video. You add in the little clickbait title. You can change the cover art. You can type in a description. Da 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 da. You can type in little keywords. And now I also now have to go down to a little monetization thing and actually click it and say I want my video monetized. And then a whole bunch of options come up. Where do you want the ads to place? And I just click on a few things. So it's 2 or 3 extra clicks, but that didn't used to happen. It used to just do that automatically. So now, so I can upload a video and I could say demonetize it or don't monetize it or but I have to actually I now have that option. Now, all my current videos and my older videos are all remaining monetized. They haven't changed anything on that. But from now on, apparently, and I think this will spread to everybody pretty soon, you actually have to click, I want this monetized, boop, boop, boop. And it's about 3 clicks when you upload. So I don't know if you're monetized. That's something new. Hi, Real Andy. What's up with you? Hey, as I said, I'm just going to do a Dave Hughes with the news middays between noon and 3 p.m. Eastern time. I may do it 2 or 3 times a week. I'm going to just try it today, see how it goes. I'm going to focus on a bunch of things. So that's some interesting stuff. So YouTube is now changing its policy there. This is interesting. This was an interesting article in the New York Times yesterday. Let's see if you can see that. With longer videos, Instagram is now challenging YouTube. So now more and more people are getting into more and more companies are getting into the uploading video things. You can do it on Facebook now. The problem with Facebook, if you're going to upload videos, and Facebook's actually a pretty good place to upload videos. I notice I get a lot of views when I post stuff on Facebook. The problem is you can't monetize them. Okay, so it's a good platform. If I need it as an extra thing, it's good, but I can't monetize. So I don't put a lot of stuff up there, but I do. I have a Facebook page, facebook.com/DCRTV. Go there and you can occasionally watch some of my interesting little video things. But so Instagram now apparently is now going to allow longer videos. So there's a whole lot of new companies coming along. I mean, not new companies, but existing social media platforms that are trying to get into the relatively longer form video business. So that's kind of interesting. So yeah. So if you're having trouble with YouTube, you can always go over and try Instagram. So that's kind of interesting. I thought that was kind of fascinating. There's a new book about the Simpsons out, everybody. If you're into the Simpsons, and I know a lot of you bottom YouTubers are, it's called Springfield Confidential: Jokes, Secret, and Outright Lies from a lifetime writing for the Simpsons by Mike Rice, Reiss. So he was, I guess, a Simpsons writer. So there is a new book out. If you're into the Simpsons, check that out. Check that out. So hey, everybody, hi, Mr. Swede. Hi, Mr. Swedes. I get a new pair of camo pants I need to mail out. You need to sign them, would you? I think that'd be cool. Send me some funky camo pants with your signature on them or something. I don't know. That'd be neat. I like wearing ripped up funky camo pants. I think that's cool, and I think that would be cool. Send me. That's what people should do. Bottom YouTubers, I'm a size 30, 32. Send me some camo pants and sign them and kind of do some interesting things to them. And I wouldn't mind. I think that's kind of cool. I'm not reading. Okay, sorry, Bubba. I'm going to go back and read the chat here. I know. I had to do the news headlines there. Okay. Hi, Joey D. Do I enjoy the longest day of the year? No, it was too long. I rather have a shorter day. It's just too friggin' long. Hi, Swedes. Hi, Joey D. Hi, Craig. Craig's my wrench. He's gonna clobber you with a wrench if you don't behave. Uh, so I do. Yes, thank you. If you mailing me out a pair of camo pants, I think that would be very, very cool. Thank you in advance. So are you reading the news and buried current events like I asked? I'm late. Yeah, I am going through here, looking through the papers, reading some interesting stuff. Yeah. Anyway, the Nationals. Anyway, what other interesting things do we have? Oh, I had a couple of interesting other stories here. I cannot remember what they were now. I've just completely gone. Oh, here's some interesting news. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Do you know that your credit cards may soon have a fingerprint reader on them? There's a number of credit card companies that are actually putting fingerprint security on your card. So I guess you have to press on the card before you use it. And I don't know how long it would last, but it just seems like one other way to screw up your credit cards. And it doesn't prevent the online crap, which is the worst one, right? Somebody getting into your account online somehow. So I don't know. So I'm reading. Okay, let's see. Cringy channels. Sir Wallace of Bauer. Facebook gets. Wait a sec here. Let me catch up on these things here. Facebook gets all the revenue. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem when you do videos on Facebook. Facebook gets all the revenue, and that's a bummer. Visit my other channel, the Swedes 69420 on Pornhub. Really? The Swedes has a new channel, the Swedes 69420 on Pornhub. Do you know I have never been on Pornhub? I don't know. What is just I don't know, man. Internet porn things kind of creep me out. I don't know, man. Nobody reads the paper. That's why you should watch my little channel, because I do. I read the paper and I'll tell you what's happening, okay? I will tell you all the news. Bono, who is here in D.C. for 2 concerts, and he met with a whole bunch of politicos. So anyway, including Tennessee Senator Bob Corker. The only reason I say that is because I like the name Bob Corker. I think that's a my name is Bob Corker. Did Mark Fun Jones vote for Bob Corker? We'd like to know. I don't know. Is he a naturalized citizen or is he still a Brit? Move to Alaska with all the nomads. You know, I should. It'll be 16 hours of night. 16. Can we friend you? Can we friend you? Yes. Go on. Yeah, absolutely. Go on facebook.com/DCRTV and friend me. Sure. That'd be, I totally, I post a lot of weird media stuff on there and stuff like that. So that's very cool. Uh, how was that going to work for using what online? I don't know what you're talking about, Bubba. Waste of your resources. Ask Chad. What do you, I'm kind of not getting all that on the comments here. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. Waste of your resources. Demonic Dave. Are you a size 3 in women's? I don't know what a size 3 in women's is. Just use Apple Pay and Android Pay. The Bubbles Sean Rockenbox's fight is awesome. Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't cover that. I should have covered that. I guess. A whole big thing about Sean Rockenbox originally came from like Northern Ireland or some place, and then somebody he talked about how he supported Donald Trump, not allowing the immigrants to come into America. So now people are calling for, at least Princess Bubbles was calling for Sean Rockenbox to be deported from Canada back to. Fill me in. Am I missing something in that? I don't know. Carpetbagger's latest video is the #3 PETA worst roadside zoo for abuse. Really? Yeah, he was at that, what is it, Natural Bridge there here in Virginia, doing some stuff. And really, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Mikey Mike, I just dropped you a box in the mail right now. Keep an eye open for some Chicago swag. Speaking about swag, look what I got in the mail today. This is news. This is big news. It's from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's from Blind Views. There's his address. I'm not doxing him. He has a P.O. box. He'd like you to send him some stuff. It's P.O. Box 62312, 62312, Harrisburg, PA 17106. Okay, this came in the mail today. And I don't know. I think he wrote the wrong. I don't know if he wrote the wrong post office box on there because somebody kind of wrote over it, but it got to me, so that's good. So look at this. I got a whole bunch of cool stickers. Look at that. There's a Pneumatic Fanatic sticker. Fat liar. Remember, was that Pneumatic Fanatic used to like Fat Tire beer, right? I think he did, and he seems to be like a Bud. What is he now? I forget the beer. But anyway, that's cool. And then I also got a sticker. I'm going to put this back on my car. I thought this was neat on my car. I may do that. And then there's a Totally Kathy sticker. Thank you so much. And then we got a Blind View sticker. This is a wonderful sticker. I remember Time Chaser made this. This is very cool. And then look at this. Oh, a Unibasis sticker. This has got to be a collector's item. So thank you so much, Mr. Blind Views, and happy birthday. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Another year older and another day in debt. I don't know. What is that? Do you think the Clintons should be prosecuted? I think the Clintons should just be ignored. I'm tired of the Clintons. I honestly liked Bill Clinton when he was president. I thought he was a pretty good president. I do not support, nor condone all of his crazy things with women and Monica and the blue dress and all that. I think he really did a lot of damage to himself with all that stuff. Yeah, I think he's not a nice person when it comes to dealing with women and, all the different crazy stuff he did. He's married to Hillary and he was obviously doing a lot of crazy stuff on the side. No, I think as far as a human being and a honest man, no, I don't rate him highly. But I think generally speaking, from 1992 to what was it, 2000, he was not a bad president. Okay, I think he did a lot of good things, during that period, and I can't remember any of them, but I know I'm pretty sure. I was interesting listening to Blind Views last night talking about politics, and he's not apparently a big fan of the Obamacare stuff and the I don't know, and he was getting into all that, and then was talking about Nixon and how he actually kind of liked Nixon. So I don't know. I was never a big fan of Richard Nixon, although I think he did some good stuff, opening up the doors to China and stuff like that. He did some interesting stuff. He did. What did he do? He did some interesting. The EPA. I think he created. Didn't Richard Nixon create the EPA? I think he did. I think he did some of those interesting things. He was not a kind of cookie cutter Republican, so he did some interesting stuff. But yeah, he was just a very flawed man who was kind of paranoid, and that's kind of, it's interesting how presidents bring themselves down. Clinton has done more to damage his reputation than probably anybody else, and Nixon obviously did the same thing. They're kind of self-destructive. It's interesting now we had, George Bush and two Bushes and Obama. They pretty much weren't self-destructive presidents, at least for their own selves. We're still waiting to see how Trump does. I don't know. If Trump comes down, it's going to be Trump's fault. You know that, don't you? I love my blue dress. Is it the blue dress or silver? I don't know. I know Sean Rockenbox, I'm sure, is a regular naturalized Canadian citizen. How can they? Is he not? I mean, he's been in Canada for a while. How can they deport him? If you're an American citizen, we're going to deport you. Well, how do they do that? I mean, you're a Canadian citizen. How do they do that? I would like to know more. I don't know. I think maybe Big Time Aaron ought to do an investigative piece into what's going on there between Princess Bubbles or maybe Dumonic. Dumonic's good at that. He should investigate it. You're a reporter. He's a reporter. He should find that out. And some news for us there, huh? Oh yeah. So anyway, is Bitcoin the future? Well, it wasn't much of a future for Jimmy the Hobo. Didn't he get into a number of these YouTubers? I think Jimmy the Hobo and Angel there from When in Rome Travels. I think a lot of them tried doing Bitcoin channels and they didn't do too well. I don't know. I have a cure to HIV. It's positivity. Clinton sucks. He gave HIV tainted blood to Canada. Really? Did he do that? I had not ever heard about that. I did not know that he personally did that. Here, take this blood. We don't want it. That's not good. Do that. But again, Twank me once to know if I think the Clintons should be prosecuted. No, I just think they should be ignored. Close the book on that and move forward. Okay. And they're both old. I mean, Bill Clinton's had bypass surgery or whatever, and Hillary's falling down every 5 minutes. I just kind of buy him a farm out there in near Little Rock and just let him kind of fade away. All the important, not late breaking news is found further back past the front. But yeah, I know that. Go way back in the paper, way back in the back of the paper for all the cool news. Yeah, I know. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna start eyeing things for my. Oh my goodness! Bodies of two boaters found in the Potomac. Oh my word! More than a dozen people beat a man and took items from him Saturday night in the Anacostia area of southeast Washington. The incident occurred at 10:50 p.m. It's like some man, all these people, like a dozen people, accosted him and took all his stuff. What's this world coming to? Huh? Oh my word, that's horrible. A dozen people accosting somebody. Oh my goodness. Any good movies? Any good movies this weekend? Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. That's how they review that. Give it 1.5 stars. Doesn't look too good, does it? Has that got Chris Pratt in it? Yes. Chris Pratt is back. What a prat. You know, it's a British term. You're a prat. You know what that means. The Guardians, The Catcher Was a Spy. Eating Animals. Documentary shows the dark origins of your breakfast sausage. Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, I've neglected the comments here. Let me go back and catch up a little bit. Oh, we're not talking about that, Sir Wallace. No, no, no. Gus Avocados. I love Vladimir Putin. Well, Gus, are you a troll channel for Evie? Are you a troll channel for Evie? That was interesting watching Jed today. He had a new job and then I guess he left it, he quit, and now he's going to be doing that post notes or post whatever they call that delivery service with Evie. So he and Evie are going to be delivering things all over Portland. I don't know. It's a kind of interesting. They both have YouTube channels. They both seem to be relatively successful on it, but neither one can seem to make a decent living on it. Bill Clinton waged a war on fathers and the weight of the U.S. government to cripple and force fathers out of work to fill the jails, driver's license suspensions, forcing men out of work. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. Dave, what do you do with someone that insists on parking in handicap spaces, pretending he is handicapped, and then drives a Corvette? I mean, we've all seen that. Someone pulls up to a handicap spot, and then they get out of the car and they're just they yeah, it's like mom has the handicap sticker, but the son is using the car and he's not handicapped. Is that right? I know a lot of people violate those handicap rules. It happens all the time. And I don't know. What do you do about it? The cops are busy. They don't have time to sit there and give people the $200 tickets. Clinton said in a town meeting to an old lady in the 90s, the re-education camps of rounded up people is getting along with other countries similar to the book's plan. Look, the Clintons are the past. Okay, obviously, we're not going to be having any more Clintons. Oh well, I don't know. Chelsea might do something someday, but what is her name? I can't think of her name. There is a lady. I can't think of her name now. I'm trying to think of her name. Marjorie Margolis. Marjorie Margolis used to be a reporter here on Channel 4 in Washington, D.C. back in like the 70s and 80s. And then she went up to Pennsylvania and then she ran for Congress. And then she married the Mezvinsky guy. Remember? And then they had a son. And then that's who Chelsea Clinton married. She's married to Margolis Mezvinsky, or I don't know, whatever. But that's who Chelsea Clinton married. So just so you know. He used an intern as a humidor. Oh, what else? What else do we got here? Other big news. Other big news. Shout me out, Dave. Black bigots. That who is that? Is that Black Bigots channel? Black Bigots COCK. That's a channel, huh? YouTubers have introduced me to avocados. I love avocados, man. I love guac, all that stuff. It's all really good for you. Sir Wallace Bauer, my drive with 17 bitcoins is worth about $437,000. Well, Sir Wallace, how about a little bit of that, sharing that with me? Come on. What do you want to die rich? Yeah. How about a couple $100 to Dave? PayPal a couple $100 to Dave. Is that gonna, come on, it's paypal.me/DCRTV. Come on. Don't hog it all up. Spread it around. Any research on the King Alfred Rex 84 garden plot military actions on our soil? I don't know anything about that. I have not heard a word about Dave for POTUS. No, I'm not running it. I do not do politics. I mean, I like to look at politics, but I'm not ever going to run in it. Dave getting okay. There we go. There's Sir Wallace of Bauer. I want to get that new VW camper van. One of those. So and then I could really do some traveling, and that would be really cool. When's my birthday? It's today. No, my birthday is February 8th. Okay, but my half birthday is August 8th. So at August 8th will be my half birthday. It's like whatever age I am and a half. Yes, February 8th. Me and Seth Green, me and Seth Green, and Ted Koppel, and Jules Verne, and the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts birthday. They have a Boy Scouts birthday. It was February 8th. Estonian. Did America even know where is Estonia? My dad's sister, my Aunt Carol, married an Estonian man. So I know all about Estonia. The guy's very Russian. Okay, he's like the right part of, they're not right next to Russia, and it's kind of like a Russian version of Sweden. Okay, they all of the blonde hair, they have that very Nordic look, but they're all very Russian. Now they say they don't like Russia, but they're all kind of Russian. There's a lot of Russians in Estonia, and they all kind of, I don't know. It's a weird country. It's a nice country. I'd like to go there. I mean, it's right across from Finland. You can take the ferry boat over from Finland. Lithuania, yeah, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, the three Baltic states. Remember, they were all part of the Soviet Union, and when the Soviet Union fell, they each became their separate independent countries. And then I think most of them are part of NATO now, I think. Yes, don't forget to smash that like button. Smash it. The harder you hit it, bang, the more it registers. Donald Trump sucks. New drinking game. Every time Dave begs, take a shot. That was a very enjoyable experience last night watching the Blind Views Thirsty Thursday. He was going on for 4 hours, and then he did a trivia contest at the end, and I kind of went to bed. But he got some good super chat. It was justifiably it was his birthday, and everybody was kind of throwing some birthday donations at him, and I thought that was very cool. And so Craig Charlton is drunk. Craig, you're already drinking? It's not even 2 p.m. on the East Coast. Oh my goodness. What are you over at the Hideaway? Ordering some of those fuzzy navels? I knew you were. I knew it. I knew that's where you were today. I tried calling you around noon. You didn't answer, and I knew you were over at the bar. Craig. What do we do? What do we do? I smashed the like button, and it doesn't work anymore. Oh, shoot, Kathy. Doesn't work. It doesn't work. Yeah, so I was saying at the beginning of this video today, now I have to monetize manually all my videos. You are now part of a select group every 2 minutes. But you do have to hit a couple extra buttons. So I don't know. I think that's probably going to get rolled out to everybody pretty soon. It's just another way of, making it harder and more of a pain in the butt to get your videos monetized, Bill Jones, Citrus County, Florida. Trump is the man. Russia still mines asbestos. Oh yeah. There's a couple good videos on that. There's some very good videos on asbestos and Russian mining asbestos, and in fact they do send asbestos products to a large part of the third world. There's a lot of countries like in Africa that still have asbestos all over the place, and they get asbestos like building products, asbestos laden building products from Russia. That still happens in a lot of the world, and a lot of countries in Africa and in the third world are using asbestos products. It's a kind of that's interesting news, but I've heard about that. It's interesting, and there's a bunch of asbestos laden places. If you go to like Montana, I know there's a little town in Montana that had a huge asbestos mine, and they had to evacuate the town. And there's naturally occurring asbestos in places out in the Rocky Mountains and stuff like that. And the towns can be actually kind of dangerous to live there. We love you, Dave. Aww. So do we do the Skype interview? Yes, Swedes, I like to do it. I emailed you yesterday. I said, give me a good time, and then I never got anything back. Let's do it. Let's try sometime this weekend. Okay. Today I'm kind of busy the rest of the day, but you let me know a convenient time this weekend, or if you want to do it Monday or Tuesday, which are your days off. Just give me a time. Say, you're in Swedes time, and we're 2 hours ahead of that. So you just say Saturday at 3 or Sunday at 2 or Monday at 4, but just email me a time, then I'll remember to call you, okay? I'll put that down in my little black book. But I do want to interview you. Yes. I don't want to do a long interview, just a short one, make it 20 minutes, half an hour, talk about, how you started out, how you're growing your channel, that kind of thing. We don't need to get into all the, who is Princess Bubbles and Anthony Sullivan stuff. I just, that's a little much. The family that lives on YouTube, the Swedes. What time is the Swedes in Sweden? The Swedes, Dave 8. The Swedes, Dave 8. 8 something. Oh, anytime today. Asbestos is really versatile, but it kills. Yeah, well, the problem with asbestos, it takes many years for it to kill. I mean, they were using asbestos. I mean, if you have a house that was built before 1970, or 1975 even, it's almost certainly has asbestos in it. It can be in the plasterboard, it can be in it can be in the walls. I remember my grandfather, when I was a kid, he had a house up there in New York, and we would go visit him. And, I mean, you'd see pipes in the basement with that white tape on them, house was built in the 20s. I mean, the house was just loaded with asbestos. And, if, as long as you don't mess with it. If it's just stays there, you're okay. But if you start ripping down stuff and taking walls out and doing construction and moving things around, yeah, you got asbestos, and you got to breathe it in for years. It's not something that you just, well, a couple of gasps of it isn't probably going to hurt you, but, breathing it in chronically, and then it damages your lungs and you get lung cancer or mesothelioma. But people were doing it. They were doing asbestos, putting it in houses and stuff in the 20s, 30s, 40s, all the way through the 70s, and then all of a sudden, people started to get lung cancer. And then all of a sudden, they realized that 30, 40 years of exposure to this stuff is bad for you. And I think the same thing's going to be true for these suckers. You are holding a device like this. Hi there. This device is sending out a signal, a UHF, a high frequency signal that's going to a cell phone tower that is 2 or 3 miles away. That's the kind of energy that's coming out of this phone. And where's it going first? Right into the side of your head, into your brain. Though that's not going to hurt you doing it every now and then. But if kids today, if they're going to be holding these phones up next to their heads for 20, 30 years, the kids today, the kids that are in their teens and early 20s today, when they turn 50 and 60, they're going to be getting brain cancer. And they're going to say, gee, where'd that come from? Well, 20 or 30 years of holding a phone up next to your head with RF radiation going into your brain. I'm almost certain that's going to be a problem. It's not yet, because cell phones haven't actually been around long enough to do that. But once these phones have been around 40 and 50 years, and people have been doing that to their heads for 40 and 50 years, you're going to see. I'm not going to be here to see it, but that will be a problem. Did I get a new car? No, I'm still driving my 2006 VW Golf Rabbit named Little Adam. But I like it. Its car's running great. I had a couple $1,000s worth of work done on it, and the car is running great. So I'm perfectly happy with it. It's not a car I could sleep in. That's the thing. I just can't. Dave, can we talk about dreams? Yeah, sure. What do you want to talk about? Yeah, you got to send me some information on that, Judy. I do not know anything about the White King Alfred plan, code name Rex 48, new garden plot. Yeah, I know not. You got to send me some background information on that, because I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, Sir Wallace, you're pathetic. That's sad. Oh my goodness, what are you saying? What are you saying? Mind blown watcher. That is what is delaying 5G networks right now. The signal needs to be so strong it's life threatening. Well, that's the problem. Yeah, it's very true. You know, um, I've covered the TV business for quite a while, and I know of a lot of it. I know of several engineers that actually fried their innards by being too close to broadcast towers. You go to UHF television, and some of those UHF television antennas have 5 million watts. They need to send out a lot of watts, a lot of watts. And you got a guy who's working down at the base of the transmitter tower around the transmitter, and he's around a lot of that RF radiation. A lot of these poor guys and gals, or some women too, that died very early, died in their 30s and 40s, literally by being either fried or their innards just, they had so much radiation. And now that's not as much as a phone would put out, but yeah, 5G phone is more power, and that power is literally an inch from your brain. You know, nobody's doing anything about it now, because what are they going to do? Stop cell phones? And the problem isn't going to show up until 20, 30, 40 years of exposure. It's like asbestos. There isn't a problem until you expose to it for a couple of decades, and then it's a problem. So I don't know. Swedes, you doubled 4D. Dave, you own a brick-sized cell phone in the 70s. No, I didn't. No, actually, I was a very late adopter to cell phones. I think my first cell phone was 2005. Actually, I just got one of those stupid little phones. I just haven't. Dave, I need advice on my horrible loud neighbors. What would Dave do? Um, I've had horrible loud neighbors too. Um, the best way to deal with them, I don't know, is to do it during the day. You don't want to ever go over to your neighbor's house when they've been drinking. So don't do it when when they're playing the loud music and probably drinking. Don't ever confront them doing that. But the next day, when everybody's sober, and you go over and knock on the door and you politely say, you're making too much noise. And and see if that works. And you try that, and then worst comes to worst, you just you call the police. They have noise ordinances in many jurisdictions, and the police will come out, and please, we're getting complaints. I don't know. The other thing you can do is just move. It is very. I noticed that when I was living at my condo, which I sold a year ago, my downstairs neighbors, some people moved in. They were nice people, but they liked to party on Friday and Saturday nights, and it was quite noisy. I mean, the point, what you can do is, if you're trying to sleep, just get some headphones, or you can go down to, one of those like Lowe's or Home Depot, and they actually have those, like people that do jackhammers. They have these headphoney things that can screen out all the outside noise. I don't know. Kitschy, don't say anything about trivia. Dave will be there and he'll win. He'll win. Play loud polka music back at them at night. Well, that's another thing you can do, is you can, do your own music. Just say F it. I'll play, get up at 4 in the morning and just play some loud music. And then if they complain, then they're complaining to you. Now you're complaining to them. You can turn it back on them. I've done that too. You know, maybe they'll only play the loud music Friday night, and then on Sunday night you play loud music, and then if they come and complain, you say, okay, I'm sorry, but you know that on Friday nights you're too loud. Said Joe Pesci to your neighbors. I had a fake cell phone I pretended to talk on when I drove around in the early 90s. Really? Hello? Or you just don't even turn your phone on, just talk. That is weird. Yeah, the pagers. Remember a pager? Right. Yeah, but that was before the cell phones. You'd get a little beep, beep, beep. Oh, my pagers. And then it'd be a phone number you dial. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, folks. What is it? What are we at here? 39 minutes. So I'm looking through the paper. Any big news? I had more news than I don't know. Did you know that Ford and VW may merge? Yeah, they're forming an alliance, and VW, it may actually turn out to be a marriage one of these days. That's interesting, huh? Huh? Do you know that the Disney, there's going to be some giant media merger. Disney wants to merge with, wants to buy a good chunk of Fox, and so does Comcast. So Disney and Comcast, Disney already owns ABC, and Comcast owns NBC, and they both want a big chunk of Fox. So that's what's going on. Who cares? Poor old Fox, Rupert Murdoch. Oh, Rupert Murdoch's gotten a lot of, apparently Fox News Channel's gotten a lot of complaints um, for downplaying this thing with the kids, the Mexican immigrant kids. They were calling it like summer camps, and there was a whole bunch of Fox personalities who are on the Fox TV network that were trying to get people to turn off Fox, or they want to get their shows taken off Fox because they're mad at the Fox News Channel downplaying all this. So I don't know. And then we've got Sean Rockenbox. I don't know. I had a 1972 Oldsmobile 455 with a rotted out exhaust. My neighbors loved me every morning. I've had a couple. Some of my old VWs had that. The exhaust thing is falling off. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I saw Coco the gorilla die. That was in the paper this morning. Yeah, that was very sad. Um, I yeah, I don't have that section of the paper here, but yeah, that was very sad. But I mean, it lived a good life, right? Right? Yeah, she died in her sleep last night. Well, I guess if you gotta go, that's the way to go, right? I would never give Dave money. He'll waste it on newspapers. I told you that. I don't buy newspapers. I take them out of Starbucks's recycle bin. So I'm not wasting any money on newspapers, okay? I don't have a subscription to a newspaper. I don't buy papers. I just steal them, okay? I steal them. Some old man's walking down the way. I just bump into him and grab his paper and run off. So, I'm not buying papers, okay? I'm not giving one damn dime to that Jeffrey Bezos. He's Amazon, right? He owns the Washington Post. He doesn't get one. I don't have Amazon Prime. I don't watch their Amazon TV channel. I do not have an Amazon Fire. I do not pay any money for the Washington Post. So, hey, that's the way I am, It's Dave 2C. Cheap, 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 cheap. Born in 71. Is that, well, good for you, Kitschy. That was a good musical year. David Bowie was doing some very good music in 1971. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Instagram. Yeah, apparently Instagram is now allowing people to do more long form videos. There was a big thing on, I don't know what it was. There was a big thing. I should have the article. I'll do some research on it. They were talking about gaming sites and how YouTube is trying to get gaming sites, and then Amazon has a gaming site, and everybody's fighting over gaming sites, and how some of these gaming site people can make like $100,000 a month. I mean, literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a month for gaming sites. They'll have, kids today, a lot of boys, a lot of, prepubescent and teenage boys spend their entire evenings on these gaming sites watching all these gaming stuff. They'll have like two celebrities battling each other, and everybody's watching that. The kids aren't watching television anymore. They just aren't. I got to roll. Remember, buy K Dog a bed. Hashtag buy K Dog. Does K Dog need a bed? Poor K Dog. He has no bed. What happened to his bed? Anyway, good luck, Swedes. I mean, let's get together sometime this weekend. Send me an email and let me know what times would be convenient for me to call, okay? And we'll get together and do our little a little Skype interview there. Any Skype people, if you want, I know I did check on a bunch of channels today, some new channels, and if you want your channel shouted out, I'd be happy to do an interview with even some new YouTubers, some of you nomads. So let me know, and we'll, if you got Skype on your computer or on your phone, let's do a little chit chat. I think that would be fun. Yeah, Skype is effed up. The best way to find me on Skype is still David Hughes, Reston, Virginia. Okay. I have changed my login and all that to Dave Hughes, Springfield, Virginia, which is where I am now. But it's still, if I do that search, I can't find me. David Hughes, Reston, Restonva. You'll see my stupid little face pop up, and then you know it's my channel. Okay. So that's that. I don't know. That's the best way to find me. Uh, and go ahead and do the connection thing with me, and we'll at least get it going there. You have to send that to me, and then I have to approve you as a connection, and then we can send messages back and forth, and then I can, I at least know your address. Or if you got an address, send it, email it to me, whatever your address is, Bubba Warbucks, comma, you know, whatever it's, Bubba Warbucks might be relatively easy to find because I don't think there's probably a lot of Bubba Warbucks. Look for me on Pornhub, the Swedes. So does Chad do any? Are you a porn star, Chad? Do you? I don't know. Oh, okay, Sir Wallace has a free Casper bed. Okay, well, very good. Maybe we solved the problem here for K Dog. What category on Pornhub? Transgender. I thought about doing Pornhub, but X Hamster Live pays better. I think Black Bigot mentioned that he likes to watch X Hamster. Is that right? He mentioned that once. That was one of his favorite porn areas. I don't know. I think for that kind of thing with me, I tend to go with Tumblr. There's just a lot of weirdo Tumblrs out there, and they're fairly safe, and you don't have to worry about getting viruses. And there's a lot of cool Tumblrs out there. So I'm just on Tumblr doing some weird shit. Men and their needs. We have needs. We have needs. Well, anyway, I don't know. What else can I say? Any other big news today? Dave Hughes with the news. I'm going to try to turn this little midday thing a couple times a week, and we'll talk about some news stuff. Okay. So anyway, yeah, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. I didn't bring enough of the paper in here. I can't, whatever. Oh, Firefox. Apparently, the New York Times likes the new Firefox. So if you want a good browser and you're sick of Chrome, they say try out the new Firefox. So they give it a very good review in here. Okay, all right, everybody. Dave is the man. He lives with 2 chicks. They are nice ladies, believe me. They're both, a bit older than I am. They are sweetheart ladies, but we're not that way, okay? I have CNN. You need to report the bottom of YouTube news. All right. Well, the rumor du jour is that Nomadic Fanatic has, or will soon be rehooking up with Morgan. So let's see. Nomadic Fanatic is in that general area now. He's heading Illinois into probably Michigan, and that's not far from Canada and where Morgan was. So what we need to do is, if you live in Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, maybe Western Pennsylvania, is go to all your RV parks and look for Nomadic Fanatics RV and see if that little Bowley trailer is nearby. And if it is, then we'll have some confirmation. But we need to figure out what's going on. Is Morgan back in the picture? And that's big news. That's giant news. Hi, Bama Mike. How are you? How's everything going? 7180. Who was running fundraisers for a new van? Yeah. Bama Jammer Mike. Morgan. Yes, she does kind of look like Olive Oil, doesn't she? Shelley Duvall. I think Shelley Duvall played Olive Oil in one of those, that Popeye movie. Was that Robin Williams? Oh. Oh yeah, you're late to the party, Blind Views. I'm only gonna go a few more minutes. We'll do 10 more minutes because I'm only good for an hour. I can't do 3 and 4 hours like you. I don't know, man. I just don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I'm like an hour. I'm going half hour's good, an hour okay, pushing it a little bit, but more than that, man, it's like I don't know what to continue talking about. Subway addiction. Oh yeah, today was my Subway day. The tuna. Friday is tuna day at Subway. Well, we had heavy rain push through here again this morning, so it's rather chilly and cold. And I actually have the long pants on today because it's just chilly today. I don't know. It was only like 65. It's crazy weather here. One day it's 95, the next day it's 65. Is Blind Views hungover? He just woke up. He just woke up. It's quarter of two. I better get up. Play Richard Simmons exercise episode. That's enough to get people to drive away. There you go. There you go. If your neighbors are making too much noise, black bigot. Poor black bigot. Big time. Hey, big time. How are you? Yeah. So, what did you think of Blind View's comments last night? That was kind of interesting. I think he mentioned you a couple times, and all the rabble rousers at the bottom of YouTube. And Princess Bubbles was there. Two. We, according to a couple people, they noticed two distinctly different Princess Bubbles there last night. There was one Princess Bubbles and there was another. Somebody changed hands mid game. We like there's a bunch of people that are looking at there's like 4 or 5 distinctly different Princess Bubbles personalities. They seem to be different people, and there's this one and that one and this one and that one. There's a serious one and a funny one and a younger one and an older one and big times balls. So big time, what's up with Sean Rockenbox? I haven't really been following that, but apparently some people want him deported from Canada. I clearly use their name in example scenarios. Okay, it's just an example. Uh, oh yeah, come on, that's not a nice BBC. Watch it, watch it, watch it. You're saying some nasty stuff there. I should change hands. So anyway, Caravan Carolyn just kind of hanging up. Oh, I wanted to say too. I don't forget too. Tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern time, we'll do another Saturday. That's one of my promos here. I should have mentioned it. Saturday. Thank you, Blind Views, very much for the nice letter in the mail today. I don't know if you caught the beginning of it, but yeah, some really nice stickers here. I do appreciate it. Yeah, a Unibasis sticker. Wow. And of course, the great Blind Views. This is a wonderful sticker. I know that Time Chaser made this one. This is really cool. And of course, Totally Kathy. And of course, oh yeah, Nomadic Fanatic. Oh yeah. And of course, the Fat Liar, aka Nomadic Fanatic stickers. Thank you all so much. Those are very nice. I know Craig doesn't have a few of these, so I will send him a few. I think I already have a Blind View sticker. So I think Craig needs one of these, so he will definitely get that one. So anyhow, very cool. Thank you so much. That was in today's mail. Oh yeah. And if you want to send us some swag to Blind Views, it's P.O. Box 62312, Harrisburg, PA 17106. Okay, there you go. So yeah, send them some swag. Some swag. And if you're Anthony Sullivan or what is his name, whatever, those postcards, you're freaking out the carpetbagger with those postcards. No more of those postcards, okay? Big time. Tune in tomorrow to see me interview Candid Candy. 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, good. Some good viewing tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that. Wow, there are only two Unibases stickers, and I've got one of them. Wow. Very cool. So that's some interesting stuff to watch tomorrow. Put it on your little YouTube menu, 9:30 a.m. Saturday. That's in the East time zone. And then 8 p.m. big time interviews Candid Candy. I did that interview with her about a month ago. She's a sweetheart, and it was a wonderful interview, and I really liked it a lot. Yeah, really some good questions, and she was taking some questions from the Peanut Gallery, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Oh yeah. So anyway, do 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 do. Now this was fun. Okay, this we got to do this news. I got to do this news. This is news. Okay, there it is. First lady's First Lady's shelter visit overshadowed by jacket. Melania Trump took a surprise trip to Texas to speak to children and officials at a shelter for migrant children, but her message and the carefully crafted visuals showing a First Lady rushing to the scene of a crisis touching the lives of children were soon obliterated by other words and images. Apparently, let's see, what does it say here? Moments after her tour began, photos started circulating online of the First Lady boarding the plane for takeoff at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland. Although the back of the coat was partly obscured in the photos, people quickly identified it as a $39 Zara jacket emblazoned on the back with the words, "I really don't care, do you?" I really don't care, do you? The outrage was immediate. The First Lady did not explain the meaning of the message, though President Trump said it was directed at the news media. Following uproar over the coat, he tweeted, "I really don't care, do you?" Anyway, that was pretty funny. Pretty funny. I know. That's the First Lady shouldn't wear a jacket like that. That's just kind of weird. She trolled the news outlets. Stupid media will jump on anything. She was throwing them shade. It's about her wardrobe, said her staffer. I'm trying to organize an interview with Melania Trump, by the way. Maybe I can interview Donald. I don't know. Hey, Mr. Trump, will you talk to Camo Dave? Let them eat cake. Trump is going to make America great again. I think it's still great. I honestly do not think it never ever became not great. I mean, we have our problems. We've always had problems here in America. Melting pot. I really think that. Everybody's got their own little tribe all over the world. My tribe. This is my tribe. We're the great people. Everybody from your parents, your family, their family, everybody's family. Usually, when you trace it back, came from somewhere else. Unless you're a Native American, your family came from Europe or Africa or Asia or wherever, and everybody we're relatively getting along. And I think that's what makes this country great. And I really do. And that's part of our history. Is we always It's the Statue of Liberty, why she stands there. It's like welcoming the poor refuse from around the world. Come here. And I don't know. I totally get what the Trump people are saying. You can't just come over the border. You have to come through the proper channels. It has to be in a logical way. And that's what happened with Ellis Island. You didn't have people just showing up on the shore. They came through and they registered and they became American citizens and followed the rules. And I totally get that. But, we need to preserve the fact that this country is a nation of immigrants, and it always has been, and it probably always will be. And that's the great thing about this country. And I think it's what's made this country great. I honestly think that. We have a culture that produces some of the best of everything, the best movies, the best, you know, for a country of our size, we're 350 million people, and there's a lot of countries a lot bigger than us. We pretty much our economy controls the whole world because we're such a diverse, wonderful country. And I to say that we haven't been great, we're going to be great again. I think we've always been great. I don't know. I don't know. And well, yeah, everybody came from somewhere else, right? The Native Americans, that weren't originally people. Yeah, we're all from the Mesopotamia. What do they call that? The Tigris and the Euphrates. Yeah, everybody eventually traces back to there. But yes, I totally agree with you, Ray. Ray, it's a nation of laws, and I do agree that you can't just let people just come across the borders. You couldn't do that in other countries. So go to Canada. Canada is very. You have to be very. You can't just. Well, there are places where you can. There's borders unguarded, but if they'll arrest you. You got to legally go to go to the nasty little the lady that roughed up Caravan's RV life for 5 minutes, asked her questions. You work for YouTube? You actually make a living on YouTube? Yes. I don't believe you. You're lying. They leave a shitty place and try to make it the exact same way here. I don't understand that. Well, I don't know. I live in an area where there are a lot of people from other countries. Northern Virginia has become very multi-ethnic over the years, and there are a lot of Hispanic people here. There are a lot of Asian people here. There are some Muslims here, and for the most part, everybody gets along very well. It's you see them in the grocery stores, and yeah, they wear their burqas, and sometimes they have on their native dress, and the interesting thing is all their kids go to school and they all speak fluent English. It's that one generation. The parents may be fresh off the boat, but those kids are, you know, they're as pretty much as American as everybody else. It's just one generation and they're all speaking English. I don't know. Hey, yeah, I think you can look at it in a whole bunch of different ways, but, it takes a generation or two and now they're Americans, American slash something, but Americans is usually first. So, what the heck? Over 65% of the illegals are collecting government welfare. Yeah. Well, I don't know. What do you do if you have poor people coming over? You can't let them starve. I don't know. Yeah, Canada is one of the most multicultural places on earth. And maybe they're doing a better job of it. They're doing a better job of, because they don't have that border like Mexico, their southern borders in the United States. And we don't have that immigration. You don't see the same kind of thing going on there. So they have better ways of, controlling the immigration, but Canada's the same thing. Toronto is a very multicultural city, and Vancouver is too. A lot of Asians are in. The problem is they said that in Vancouver, it's very hard for Canadian citizens to get real estate or apartments or anything because so many people are coming over from Japan and China, and they have a lot of money and they're buying up all the properties. So. Well, they could, anybody can demand Sharia law. It isn't going to happen. I remember the local radio station here, WMAL here in Washington. It's a right wing radio station, and then they used to have a guy named Fred Grandy. He used to be on the Love Boat. He used to do the morning show on WMAL here, and his wife would come on all the time and talk about how Sharia law is being implemented in the United States and all that, and eventually they fired him and her, or even that station couldn't take it. But we have a very well established legal system here, and I doubt strongly that we're ever going to get Sharia law. I don't see any evidence of that happening. So, but hey, people come from other countries and they have their own ideas, and I don't know. I guess the people that came over from Ireland back in the 1800s wanted this place to be more like Ireland, and that's just natural. They want to bring their culture over, and then we're getting the same things today. I mean, good Lord, look at America back in the past. The Jews were fighting the Christians who were fighting I mean, you know, we've always had that mix, and there's always been something going on with that, you know? Yeah, you know, I mean, it's always been part of our culture. You go to any big city, you know, you go to New York or Boston or Philly, and you look over the last 100 years, 150 years, and the Italians were over here, and the Portuguese were over there, and the Irish were over here, and even today they're all living together, but there's always somebody who's the outcast. I don't know. That assimilation takes a while, but everybody eventually becomes Americans. It does happen. It sometimes takes a couple generations. Don't get me started on the Japanese. Uh, well, Detroit, it's becoming a new park, right? All those old neighborhoods that got burned out, they've torn down the houses, and now they've got these trees and woods growing up in urban areas. I don't know. Well, totally, Kathy. And go back and fix their own country. I think in a lot of countries they just line up against the wall and shoot them. I mean, oh, Hitler wasn't that bad. Okay. Anyway, how's about it? So anyway, have you enjoyed the first episode of Dave Hughes with the news? We've kind of gotten away from YouTube and talked about some news stuff. It's been interesting. And I want to keep it going. I like the dialogue. I like what people are talking. We're talking a little bit about Trump and about current events, and I kind of like it. I think it's kind of interesting. Can't we all just get along? Anyway, the freaks are coming out. All right, put on your thinking caps. I want you all to put on your thinking caps. Okay, we pretty much know Donald Trump is going to be the Republicans' candidate in 2020, but who will the Democrat be? Okay, who's the Democrat that's going to run against Trump in 2020? Okay, is it going to be old Joe Biden? Is Bernie Sanders going to be back? Could Hillary come in for another run? Is it going to be somebody else? Could it be the Tim Kaine, who was the vice president candidate under Hillary, he's our senator here in Virginia? Might he do a run? Could it be somebody else? Could it be the mayor of Los Angeles? Could it be I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different names. Could Melania, what's her name? Mrs. Could Melania Trump run against her husband? Michelle Obama. Could Michelle Obama? Could it be Oprah? I don't know. Uh, anyway, let's all think about that. And when I do this next time, it'll either be Monday or Tuesday next week. We'll talk about that. So put on your thinking caps. Who's gonna be the Democratic challenger to Donald Trump? Because they got to pick somebody pretty soon, because the election's only a little more than 2 years away. We have just so many elections here every 4 years. Oh my goodness, it's just too much. Jimmy Carter. Yeah, could they trot out Jimmy Carter again? Oh my God. Bill Clinton's still around. Oh no, I think Bill can't run again, right? He's 2 terms, he's done, right? Amy Carter. Whatever happened to Amy Carter? His daughter Amy. I'm curious what she's up to these days. Kim Kardashian. I wouldn't. The head of Starbucks. What's his name? Howard something or other. He's been mentioned as a possible candidate. I forget what his name. Schultz or Schmidt. I forget what his name is. Howard something or other. I don't know. The Canadian Federal Election Protection, Andrew Scheer, Conservative, will run against Trudeau. I don't know. It would be interesting to see if Justin Trudeau can hang on there in Canada. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's the son of Pierre Trudeau. Remember Pierre Trudeau? I always liked that. There was one time Pierre Trudeau lost an election or something, and he went to resign, and he drove up in a little sports car up to Parliament there in Ottawa, got out, ran in, signed the papers, got back in his little sports car, and drove off. I thought that was so cool. You'd never see an American president do that. They'd be in a giant, protected limo. Dave Hughes, Blind Views, Ticket for President. Hughes and Views. I like that. I like that. The common sense ticket. Common sense. He's a little to the right. I'm a little to the left. I think that would be a cool idea. I should through hike the AT. I'm too old for that. I'm sorry. I'll do little chunks of it, but I ain't doing that. So anyway, this is just a little experiment. I wanted to see how it went. We've got 29 viewers. That's what the hell, an hour 9 minutes. I want to see how this goes. So maybe on Monday or Tuesday of next week, middle of the day, somewhere around 1 or 2 o'clock, I'll be back and we'll talk about some of the other news and views around the world. Okay, it's been fun. So we'll see how this goes. It's going to be on my Dave Hughes channel. So you obviously subscribe to that if you're seeing the notifications for this. But don't forget to subscribe to both of my channels, Dave Hughes, just youtube.com/Dave Hughes, one big word, or youtube.com/CamoDave, one big word. So make sure you subscribe to both channels and so you can see everything and click on the little bell, ding, 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 so you can get all the notifications. The Liberals lost in Ontario to the Progressive candidates. I really think Canada is getting sick of Liberal leadership. Mm. And we'll talk about Canada. A lot of this bottom YouTuber stuff is a lot of. We got a lot of friends in Canada too. So and Americans really don't know much. I'd be honest with you. I would be honest if you went out on the street right now and you asked 10 people who the Prime Minister of Canada is. I would say 9 of them wouldn't know. 9 Americans out of 10, maybe all 10, would not know who the Prime Minister of Canada is. And if vice versa, you went to Canada and asked who the President of the United States is, I bet you all 10 people would know. I'm just saying that's the way this works. You Canadians pay a lot of attention to our politics, and we don't do that to you. It's very interesting, but hey, that's very true. All right. Hi, Mark Fun Jones. Still at work. Yeah, he's got a jobby poo. He's a carpenter, just like Jesus. That's right. If I was a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. What did Craig make a funny? Anything for views, Hughes. I'm gonna. I gotta have a talk with that Craig. We gotta have a long talk, Craig. He's my unibassist. Yeah, I work with wood. Okay, I work with wood all day. That could be taken a couple of ways, Mark. Where's Tank? When we sent Tank down to Tank's, it was raining here. Okay, it's the rain. I think has stopped. I got to go walk Tank. It's about time, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you being here. Wow, 2:30. We've really gone a long time today. All right, folks, that's it for today. Thank you for the premiere episode of Dave Hughes with the news. So maybe Monday or Tuesday we'll do another one of these between 1 or 2 o'clock. Don't forget tomorrow, Saturday at 9:30 in the morning. We're just going to talk about the latest developments at the bottom of YouTube, including Campervan Carolyn, or Caravan Carolyn, Kevin, Matt Fanag, Blind Views, and everybody else. So we'll see you there. Okay. All right, folks. Book 'em. How do I get out of this? I honestly forget. How do I turn this chat off? How do I turn this chat off? Yeah, I don't see that. That's weird. I don't see the off button. What does this do? What does that do? Do 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 do. That's really weird. I don't. Oh wait, maybe I'm missing it here. Oh wait, there it is. Oh, there it is. See, the end stream was blending in with the white of my shirt, so I couldn't see the little end stream thing down there. It was blending in with my white shirt. Oh, that's funny. All right, folks.